Hello folks. So let's speak about the month of December. As usual, if you prefer to read about the overall trends, please see my website for more details. Yeah, so let's get into this. Now, what's happening in December? Well, December has one eclipse on the 4th. There is a Venus retrograde cycle happening and also a Mars and Ketu conjunction. I think it's a much better month than the draining autumn months that we have experienced. The slow-moving planets are all well placed and in strength. So if you have any big plans, now is the time to implement them. There will probably be more optimism and a better sense of direction this month after we pass that eclipse. The first thing, of course, happening is the solar eclipse in Scorpio on December the 4th at 18 degrees in the nakshatra of Jyesa. This eclipse is less dramatic than the one that we experienced in November, but because the moon is debilitated at this time, it may bring some anxiety. Yeah. Communications can be very emotional also because of Mercury's position, but it seems that there will be some sort of resolution because Mars is alone in Libra, getting ready to leave. The reason why Mars and Mercury become important to see their position in the eclipse is because Mars is the ruler of Scorpio and Mercury is the controlling planet of Jyesa, where the eclipse is taking place. I've actually spoken about the eclipse in greater detail and I will link the video below. Yeah. So what else is happening? The second shift this month is with Mars and it's a positive one. Now, Mars had experienced a combust state for many months, leading to possible setbacks as well as a low drive, low confidence, and probably little energy. Now Mars will transit Scorpio from December 5th till January the 16th of 2022. Mars is very powerful in Scorpio as that is Mars's home space. Here Mars can be also more calculating as well as less impulsive than it tends to be in Aries. Now the first connection Mars makes is with Jupiter vis-a-vis that nakshatra Varivartan. And this will give a boost to all that is signified in your chart by Jupiter and Mars. They're both situated in a 4:10 angle from each other. So this can bring a stabilizing effect to whatever is represented by their particular lordships. Yeah. Now, secondly, Mars will be exactly conjunct Ketu from December 14th till December the 16th. So here you can feel that Ketu fire overpower and absorb the Mars energy. And so what happens is that the Mars impulse can get drained. So the ability to be logical, rational, and strategic may take a backseat for those couple days there. And there may be some fiery tempers, maybe there may be some impulsive decisions as well. Passionate feelings can also be overpowering at this time. Now Mars and Ketu together tend to make a person stay angry for longer. Because we're talking about Scorpio, that anger can be more internalized. So whatever comes up, you may be suppressing your reactions and your emotions. And yet you could see others being more reactive when in fact your reactions are internalized and therefore it's that projection thing, yeah? So be wary of that. Yes, Mars stays with Scorpio. Mars stays with Ketu and Scorpio all month, but those 2-3 days, the 13th to the 16th, 17th, are really when you will feel the intensity of that. And when Mars goes past Ketu, then the energy will wane, largely, yeah. Now, whenever the nodes affect a planet, there is an imbalance in the expression of that planet's energy. Either there's too much expression or there's too little. So see where Scorpio falls in your chart and look at the lordship of Mars to see what area is being impacted with that Ketu and Mars conjunction. But as I said, by the 18th, this energy, the 17th or 18th, this energy will dissipate, and Mars remains strong throughout December. It's actually a good transit for the dual signs, Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces, as well as Capricorn and Aquarius as well. But it may be a bit difficult for Aries, Taurus, Cancer, and Leo. Now, what else is happening? Venus is moving into Capricorn on December the 8th, where it will stay till December the 30th. This is a complex transit for Venus, but it can be a very rewarding one if you take some chances. Yeah. Of course, there may be a fear of taking chances with money and with relationships in the beginning of the transit due to Venus getting associated with Saturn, Rahu, and Pluto. And there will be so much intensity due to that shadow energy of Pluto, and Rahu also being very strong, that it will propel you to take some risks, even where normally you should exercise caution. Yeah. I actually made a detailed video on this because Venus goes retrograde on December the 19th. So I'm going to link that below. And that's going to talk in more detail about the Venus transit. Yeah. December 10th, Mercury moves into Sagittarius. The first planet to escape that nodal axis. Now, the dispositor, of course, is Jupiter, and Jupiter's well placed at this time. Mercury will quickly zip through Sagittarius and move into Capricorn on December the 29th. And right before this, it will cross the path with Venus, who is moving into Sagittarius. So there is a Venus-Mercury conjunction on December the 29th. It could be it could be a good day to reconnect with loved ones, especially over the holiday season. Yeah. If you wanted to express your love or affection for someone, this is a good day for that too. So what else is happening? Well, the Sun finally leaves the nodal axis on December the 15th, the day that we have the exact Ketu and Mars conjunction. The Sun will move into Sagittarius and join Mercury. This suggests a move towards optimism, leaving the stormy tidal waves of Scorpio behind. From December 15th till January the 14th, the Sun will remain in Sagittarius, and it's free from all the malefic aspects this time. Sun is well placed in Jupiter's sign, with Jupiter 11th from it in Aquarius, also in strength. And here Sun, as usual, will join Mercury. There's a full moon taking place in Gemini, in the nakshatra of Mrigashira at 3 degrees, on December the 19th at approximately 4:30 a.m. in the morning. And this will happen right before Venus moves retrograde. Now, Mrigashira is a nakshatra which we denote with the search. It's called a searching star. And in mythology, it's personified by that deer that's sort of running around in a forest looking for, always searching for something, when actually it's the scent that it's searching for, it's within him. So basically, he's swept away by the lure of what is outside, and yet, in fact, what he ought to be doing is looking inside. So that's sort of that the symbolism behind that. So this could point to a sort of a like, and particularly because it's the full moon and it's a very strong moon, it's a very lovely moon. It's getting the exact aspect of a well-placed, strong Jupiter. So there could be an epiphany of sorts. There could be a culmination, a realization that connects us to ourself, our roots, our origin, our original place, right? Like, for example, maybe it's you were looking for an answer or a solution to something, and you arrive back at the first solution that you had thought of. It could be something like that, something as simple as that. So where basically we end up where we started. Now Mars, a ruling planet of Mercury, also aspects this full moon from its 8th position. So we could see some surprise developments now. And where can this happen? Well, it depends on where Gemini falls in your chart. Yeah. Mars's connection is strong here. So bear that in mind. It's the 8th aspect, signifying unexpected developments, surprises. Could be good surprises though, because Jupiter's aspecting that moon, Mercury's aspecting that moon, two benefics are aspecting that moon. Yeah. Especially Jupiter's aspect is exact, almost exact, within a few minutes. And Mercury aspecting the full moon is also a good sign, because that's its own house. That's Mercury's house, Gemini. So whatever surprises may come up will be something that you will certainly be able to deal with and perhaps even welcome. Yeah, it's nice to get good surprises for a change. On Christmas Eve, there's also a lovely moon opposite Jupiter. So it's a good time to celebrate the festive season. The only thing to bear in mind at that same time, we have a Saturn square with Uranus active at that time. And that Saturn-Uranus square has actually been ongoing throughout the year. It's a moment where you can see that change is necessary in your life, because that's what Uranus tends to bring. It tends to bring change, and it will bring it. It will often bring it in a very sudden, fierce way, because you either haven't been paying attention to the areas of your life that need changing and alteration of some kind, or you're aware of that, but you've been resisting the change. So it can feel like something is ripped out of your life, or some necessary change is happening to you because you've neglected to make the changes earlier on. And this can be pertaining to what Saturn is in your chart, right? So look at the lordship of Saturn to understand where that change needs to take place. Toward the end of the month and the year, on December the 30th, Venus will trail back into Sagittarius and then start to move toward the Sun. And this is a critical moment. It's the same day that the Galsarp Yoga takes effect. So we know that there's something fated and ominous related to all matters connected to Venus. You could be revisiting matters that came up at the eclipse of the November 19th, because Venus was prominent then too. It could be that the revelation of this eclipse had brought to you, whatever the revelations of the eclipse had brought to you are pushing you to make a change in your life, with your relationships or with your finances. Everyone will experience a shift of sorts, and for many this will feel inevitable, destined, fated, out of our control, and therefore we need to surrender to some extent. There's also Mercury-Pluto conjunction happening, so it suggests some kind of deep thinking and maybe the ability to dissect that situation in a strategic way. It's the dawn of big changes, because it's the last day of the year and we're in full throttle with this ominous Galsarp Yoga, which is taking us into the new year. How it will affect you will depend on where the Taurus Scorpio axis falls in your chart. This can be a life-changing moment for many people, especially for the fixed signs, including Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. So, as usual, check what planets are sitting in Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, because this is where all the energy is concentrated, right? What does it call for? Basically, it's an imbalance. It's an imbalance in the chart. And this is going to color the entire 2022 as well. I've actually spoken more about this in greater detail in the annual forecast, which I'm going to shortly post. And on New Year's Eve, you could feel some restless energy with that moon between Mars and Ketu in Scorpio. So you could feel a bit anxious and out of sorts with a situation that's, again, not in your control, because again, we're talking about nodal energy being so intense, so activated at that time. And again, this is especially the case if you have planets in the Taurus-Scorpio axis, or you're going through a nodal dasha period. After the moon crosses that Gandanta zone on midday, January the 1st, you'll be feeling much more at ease. So that's all for now, folks. Happy holidays and all the best.